The Texas-Mexico border town of El Aguijan was a quiet, dusty place where life moved slowly under the relentless sun. Nestled between sprawling ranches and rugged terrain, it was a community of hardworking people who knew the land and its secrets. But one summer, those secrets began to haunt them in ways they had never imagined. It started with the livestock. Goats, sheep, and even cattle were found dead in the morning, their bodies drained of blood with strange puncture marks on their necks. Whispers of El Chupacabra spread quickly through the town, the legendary creature said to suck the blood of livestock. For many, it was just a story to scare children, but the rising number of dead animals told a different tale. One blistering afternoon, as the town gathered for its weekly market, Sheriff Miguel Torres stood on the wooden steps of the town hall, addressing the concerned citizens. "We've lost too many animals," he said, his voice grave. "Something is out there, and we need to figure out what it is." Among the crowd was Javier Luna, a rancher who had lost several goats to the mysterious predator. He nodded in agreement, his eyes hard with determination. "We can't let this thing destroy our livelihood," Javier said. "We need to hunt it down." News of the strange attacks quickly spread beyond El Aguijan, attracting the attention of a diverse group of individuals: crypto hunters, trophy hunters, and researchers. They began to trickle into town, each with their own motives and expertise. First to arrive were the crypto hunters, led by Dr. Emily Turner, a renowned cryptozoologist. With her team of researchers and an array of high-tech equipment, she set up a temporary lab in an abandoned building near the town's edge. Her goal was to prove the existence of the Chupacabra, a creature that had eluded science for decades. "We're here to find evidence," Dr. Turner said during a town meeting. "If this is indeed a Chupacabra, we will capture it and study it." Next came the trophy hunters, a rough-and-ready group led by Clayton Reed, a burly man with a reputation for bagging big game. Armed to the teeth and eager for a new challenge, they set up camp just outside town, ready to track and kill the creature. "We'll get it for you," Clayton assured the townspeople. "And we'll mount its head on the wall." The last to arrive was a quiet man named Luis Ortiz, a biologist from Mexico City. He had no interest in hunting or proving the Chupacabra's existence. He simply wanted to understand what was happening and help the people of El Aguijan. The sun was setting over the desert, casting long shadows across the town as the various groups began their preparations. That night, Dr. Turner's team set up motion sensor cameras and baited traps around the outskirts of town. Clayton's hunters patrolled the area, their rifles gleaming in the moonlight. Luis, meanwhile, quietly collected soil samples and examined the dead animals for any clues. As the night wore on, the tension in El Aguijan grew palpable. The townspeople stayed indoors, locking their doors and windows, their prayers mingling with the howls of coyotes in the distance. Around midnight, a piercing scream shattered the stillness. The Chupacabra had struck again, this time at Javier Luna's ranch. The hunters rushed to the scene, but they found only the lifeless body of a goat and tracks leading into the desert. Dr. Turner examined the carcass with a flashlight, her face set in a grim expression. "It's just like the others," she said. "2 puncture wounds and no blood. Whatever did this is very real." Clayton scowled, gripping his rifle tightly. "We'll find it. It can't hide forever." The next few nights followed a similar pattern. The Chupacabra struck, leaving behind a trail of dead animals and terrified townsfolk. The crypto hunters gathered more evidence, but the creature remained elusive. The trophy hunters grew more frustrated with each failed attempt to track it down. Luis continued his quiet investigation, piecing together a theory about the creature's habits and movements. One night, as Luis was examining the latest victim, he noticed something peculiar, a small, thorn-like object embedded in the flesh near the puncture wounds. He carefully extracted it and held it up to the light, his eyes widening in realization. "This isn't just any predator," he said to himself. "It's using some sort of natural tool to extract the blood." Determined to share his findings, Luis sought out Dr. Turner at her makeshift lab. He found her poring over maps and data, her face illuminated by the glow of her laptop. "Dr. Turner, I think I've found something," Luis said, showing her the thorn. She examined it closely, her curiosity piqued. Interesting. This could explain the precision of the wounds. It's almost like a syringe. They spent the next few hours analyzing the thorn under a microscope, confirming that it was not a natural part of any known animal in the region. The discovery gave them a crucial piece of the puzzle, but it also raised more questions. Whatever this is, it's not just an animal, Dr. Turner concluded. It's something far more complex. As dawn approached, the two researchers decided to present their findings to the rest of the town. They hoped that this new information might help in devising a plan to stop the creature. The townspeople gathered in the square once again, their faces weary but hopeful. Dr. Turner and Luis shared their discovery, emphasizing the need for a coordinated effort to capture the Chupacabra alive. "We need to understand what we're dealing with," Luis urged. "Killing it might not solve the problem. We need to study it." Reluctantly, Clayton and his hunters agreed to work with the researchers, although they made it clear that they would shoot to kill if necessary. That night, the combined team set up an elaborate trap using live bait and tranquilizer darts. They positioned themselves strategically around the perimeter, ready for the Chupacabra's inevitable attack. Hours passed in tense silence. The moon hung high in the sky, casting eerie shadows across the landscape. Suddenly, there was a rustling in the bushes, followed by a low growl. The Chupacabra had arrived. The creature emerged from the darkness, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. It was smaller than they had expected, but its presence was undeniably menacing. It moved with a fluid grace, approaching the bait with cautious steps. Dr. Turner signaled to the team, and they readied their tranquilizer darts. As the Chupacabra lunged for the bait, a volley of darts flew through the air, striking the creature. It let out a horrifying screech and stumbled, but it didn't go down easily. In its frenzy, the Chupacabra turned on the team, attacking with terrifying speed. Clayton's hunters fired their rifles, but the creature seemed to dodge the bullets with supernatural agility. Chaos erupted as the team struggled to subdue it. Luis, watching from a distance, realized that the creature was heading towards a nearby ravine. He grabbed a dart gun and sprinted after it, determined to bring it down. He found the Chupacabra teetering on the edge, weakened but still dangerous. With a steady hand, Luis fired the last tranquilizer dart, hitting the creature squarely in the neck. It let out one final cry before collapsing to the ground, unconscious. The team quickly moved in, securing the creature and loading it onto a makeshift stretcher. Dr. Turner and Luis examined it closely, marveling at its otherworldly features. It was a hybrid of various animals, with characteristics of a canine, reptile, and bat. Over the next few days, the researchers conducted a thorough study of the Chupacabra. They discovered that it had evolved to extract blood using the thorn-like appendage, a unique adaptation that allowed it to survive in the harsh environment. As the townspeople began to recover from the terror, they expressed their gratitude to the team. The threat had been neutralized, and El Aguijan could finally breathe a sigh of relief. But for Luis and Dr. Turner, the discovery marked the beginning of a new chapter. They knew that there were still many mysteries lurking in the dense forests and deserts of the world, waiting to be uncovered. The legend of the Chupacabra would live on, but now it had a face, a story, and a place in the annals of cryptozoology. As they packed up their equipment and prepared to leave El Aguijan, Luis turned to Dr. Turner with a determined look. "What do you say we keep searching for the unknown?" Dr. Turner smiled. "Absolutely. There's a whole world out there waiting to be discovered." And with that, they set off on their next adventure, ready to face whatever new legends and mysteries awaited them. The Chupacabra was just the beginning.